So yeah, baseball doesn't exist. The greatest catches in baseball history.
In the nearly 200 years of baseball, we've seen some amazing catches. We've seen some extremely stupid catches. We've seen catches that didn't even count as catches. We've seen catches that have saved lives and catches that have almost ended lives. Players will do almost anything to make a catch. This guy went swimming to make a catch. One time, a dog even made a catch. This catch saved a game, almost cost a team their season, almost cost the team to move to another city.
Oh, his leg. His fucking leg.
And got them into the playoffs at the same time. This catch turned a 12-year-old into a celebrity, made him tens of thousands of dollars, and cost the team their season. Did I mention it was illegal? This is illegal, and this was also called illegal. Every week, there's a catch that wows us. But
like, I feel like recently I saw one that was pretty sick, where yeah, like it was an home run, but the catcher basically ran up the wall and propped himself up and basically cut the ball as it was about to be an home run. It was pretty sick.
In the history of baseball, it's never been officially determined what the greatest catch of all time was. Until now. Of all the insane catches on the field, this was the 10th greatest catch in baseball history, and I'll tell you why. Some of the greatest catches don't even happen on the field. This fan caught a ball with fried dough. Catching a ball in food usually ends in disaster. Food all over you, but not this guy. A ball went into his nachos. Not only did he maintain possession and catch the ball, all the nachos got on somebody else. The perfect outcome. This girl caught a ball with their prosthetic leg. This guy caught a ball in an umbrella. This guy went to 30 games a year for 30 years and never caught a ball until this. He caught this ball with his bare hands. It was hit 108 miles per hour in over 415 feet. People will do anything for a foul ball, even put their child's life in danger, and it's amazing.
But like, it's a fun reposted on Reddit, the one of like, there's a dad like holding their kid like this, you know, and then he's like, he has a drink, he has the kid, and I think I forget, like the ball is coming, so like I think he lets go of the drink and the kid, then he grabs the ball and he grabs the kid back. It's something like that. It's just kind of insane.
This guy caught a ball with a baby, didn't even leave his seat, and she barely even woke up. This guy caught a ball over Adrian Gonzalez with a child in his arm. This guy had to drop his baby in order to make the catch, but if you ask him, it was probably worth it. But unfortunately for this guy, he dropped his child while trying to make a catch, didn't even catch the ball, and
like, damn, the wife is mad. I was gonna say, like, is it really that worth it? I mean, it's cool if you grab a ball, but like, is every single ball that you catch that expensive that you can resell it? I know some of them for like really important game. I'm sure they're like very important, right? So you can probably make a good amount of money, but like, it can't be every single ball, right? Like, it can't be that worth it.
Got in a little bit of trouble for doing this. But no fan catch, not even this one, can compare to the 10th greatest catch of all time. This is Dave Davidson. He is a ball hawk, a group of people who wait outside Wrigley Field who fight for home run balls that leave the stadium. Each game you can see dozens of fans lining up trying to make the rare but unbelievable outside the stadium catch. Now,
how are you a fan if you're not even watching the game? You're waiting outside. You're just here for the money.
Now, this street is closed for traffic during games, but for decades, these guys were literally dodging cars while trying to catch home run balls outside of the stadium. Dave Davidson has been doing this for close to 40 years. He once caught 2 outside the stadium home runs in one game, but his most impressive feat happened in 2007. Barry Bonds was chasing the all-time home run record. Games were getting sold out everywhere he went. Each home run ball was instantly worth thousands. Closing in on the record, Bonds visited a sold-out Wrigley Field. Fans packed the bleachers hoping to catch a home run ball, but Dave was in his usual spot, and in the second inning, Barry drove one. Disappointed fans watched it fly out of the stadium, but Dave...
There's so many of them.
Running catch in trap.
I don't know, like, I don't feel like judging people too much, you know, like, if they're having fun doing this, but man, like, there's a baseball game and you're standing outside, like, for hours probably, just doing nothing, waiting for a ball to fly by with like 10 other, like, old dudes and all you're doing is like trying to fight over like one ball. I understand it's worth a couple $1,000, so that's pretty good, but I don't know. It's kind of sad.
For a ball that today is worth tens of thousands of dollars, and he didn't even have to buy a ticket. Judging a catch based on difficulty is challenging. According to statisticians who created a stat called catch probability, it's based on 3 key factors: how much distance a fielder covered, how fast he covered that distance, and what direction did he travel. On this play, Billy Hamilton ran over 120 feet in 5.08 seconds, got up to 22 miles per hour, and made a diving catch. 12 of the most technologically advanced cameras on Earth are at each MLB stadium, monitoring where a fielder starts, where he ends, how much distance he covers, how fast he covers that distance, and what direction he runs. All of that info is put into a calculation that decides how great a catch was. On this play, Sal Frelick travels 90 feet, gets up to 27.9 feet per second, hits the wall, and smashes his teammate in the face while making the catch. They gave this a 5% catch probability. But sometimes a great catch looks easy. This play had the same exact catch probability, 5%. But Jacob Young is fast and takes the perfect angle, making it look easy. This amazing looking catch, on the other hand, had a 99% catch probability. The route was so bad, Bellinger made it look hard. So traveling long distances in a short amount of time at the perfect angle on a ball hit at a difficult trajectory and angle is what makes a catch great, which is why
so
this is the 9th
wall.
best catch of all time.
And this one to center field. Denzel Clark on the move back after he stepped.
That's cool.
According to the stat, this had a 95% catch probability, which makes 0 sense. Catch probability only works for outfielders and cannot calculate things like an approaching wall or the distance a player jumps, or other random annoyances that can make a fielder's life a living nightmare is not factored in, which is why no matter what catch probability says, this is the 8th greatest catch in history. Sometimes in baseball, shit happens. Like when the Tigers were trying to avoid getting walked off, then a bunch of seagulls came on the field. The center fielder missed the ball and they lost the game because of seagulls. Or when something that is insanely bright and 1.3 million times the size of the Earth, called the sun, blocks the ball and he can't see anything. The sun is undefeated. Nobody has beaten it until Brandon Marsh did this, tracking down a ball on the run. He completely lost it, couldn't see it, and still made the catch. For decades, players had to battle literal bullpens on the field while trying to make catches. Trevor Plouffe was running for this ball, then bam, a bullpen showed up. Yes, the A's had a bullpen on the actual field. So did the Cubs. Even the Giants had one. In 2018, their outfielder tripped and fell on their bullpen so badly, he got a concussion, missed a ton of time, and when he returned, he was never the same player. He since sued the team, saying putting the bullpen on the field led to the injury that cost him millions.
Yeah, why is there a random amount of dirt? Like, what's the point?
And the bullpen soon after was removed. But nobody terrorized fielders in their own stadium worse than the Astros, who for some reason had an actual hill in center field for 17 years. Instead of having a 400-foot fence like everybody else, they pushed their fence back 30 entire feet and added a hill, resulting in some of the best and worst catches ever. People falling face first, tripping and stumbling on the hill. There's also people like Carlos Beltran, who caught a ball 430 feet from home plate. Dave Roberts, who used the hill to his advantage and robbed a home run on the hill. Jim Edmonds, who ran all the way back there and caught one over his shoulder while diving. But none of those are better than the Big Puma.
On the way to Makoviak, sends a high fly ball, center. Berkman back up on the terrace. And did he hang on?
Lance Berkman gets turned around at the top of the hill and still makes an over-the-shoulder grab. These are catches that no stat can explain or do justice. Sometimes life throws a literal bat at you and you have to catch it. You get no credit in the stats, but you can't tell me this is not one of the best catches ever. Sometimes an opponent stands right in your way, gets tangled up with you, knocks your glove off of you, and you have to make a catch with no glove. The stat says this is routine. What about when Kevin Mitchell overran a ball, reached up, and caught a ball with his bare hand? Or when David Wright over his shoulder, reached back, and with no glove caught this thing. The stats give no extra credit for making an out with no glove, but this guy made an out with no arm, and that's why it's the 7th greatest catch in history. Vince Velasquez is a right-handed pitcher. He's always been a right-handed pitcher, but Adam Eaton smokes one at him, 96 miles per hour in the arm. Moments later, he'll be on the ground, writhing in pain, and have to go on the injured list. But in the moment,
curveball hits Velasquez, and he's going to throw left-handed. How about that?
Knowing his arm is screwed, he ditches his glove and chucks a ball to first base with his left arm to get the out and save a run. Putting your health, even life, on the line for your team will always be impressive. Just look at Buck Martinez, who made the 6th greatest play in history, and it cost him his career. Plays like this make you a legend. Like when Derek Jeter in a tie game in extra innings against his rivals went face first into the stands to make this catch. His face was visibly bruised. He needed 7 stitches, but it ended up winning them the game. Aaron Rowan's face looked like this after he broke his nose going full speed into a metal railing in center field in Philadelphia. Rodney McCray.
It's kind of insane, yeah, like the way they go toward the wall and they don't stop. I guess some of the modern wall, I'm sure they're padded, right? But it's like they're not slowing down, you know, it's like it's life or death.
Gray destroyed a wall, went right through it, and made a catch. It wasn't even a major league game. Turner Ward went through a fiberglass wall that cut up his entire body, hurt his shoulder and his elbow, and still got the ball in. He did this while his team was losing 9-0. But not even that compares to staring down a 200.
Yeah, you could say there's no point, but I guess he's remembered as like someone who really like didn't give up.
50-pound grown man going full speed directly at you, knowing gonna get destroyed, but taking it on the chin anyway. Until recently, catchers were doing this since baseball was invented. They had no other choice but to wear it, and nobody did it better than Buck Martinez in a game in 1985. It's a tie game. There's a single to right field. The entire stadium is cheering this guy to score. The throw comes in, and the runner destroys Buck Martinez. He's out, and Martinez is on the ground. He cannot move. He has a broken fibula and a dislocated ankle, but he still makes the throw to third. The ball gets away, and another runner is coming home. Martinez somehow catches a throw while on the ground, then pivots to get another guy out. 2 outfield assists in one play by 2 different outfielders, and Buck Martinez caught both of them. He was 36 and would be carried off the field.
With all those videos, of like sometimes I think again, like I feel like baseball is just very weird. At least American baseball, I know it's very, very different in Japan, for example. But like, I feel like American baseball again. At times, it feels like they want to mix multiple sports, like the constant fighting and physicality of it. It feels like they also want like a bit of NFL into it. It's just like I'm sure it's very entertaining to watch, but it's just kind of like funny how chaotic and insane it is.
Missed the rest of the season and was only able to play 81 more games before retiring. A play so good that it ended a career. But it's still not as good as this play, because this one almost ended an entire franchise. Ken Griffey Jr. was never not making an unbelievable catch. He ran about 200 feet and catapulted himself off the wall to make this catch. He almost ran as far for this one and robbed a home run that was so far over the fence, he got a standing ovation in an away stadium. Robbing home runs was easy for him. Watch him time this one up and take it back with what looks like 0 effort. But his greatest catch happened in 1995. The Mariners were a terrible franchise, truly despicable. They'd been around since 1977, and they hadn't made the playoffs once. They had just finished dead last in attendance. Ownership needed to replace the old decrepit stadium, but the city wouldn't fund any of it. Other cities like Tampa Bay would have loved to fund a stadium, so it was clear. Unless something drastic happened, the Mariners were leaving Seattle. The players knew they had to win to keep the team in Seattle, so when this ball was hit in a tie game, Griffey went all out.
Swing, and it's a fly ball, right center field and deep. On the run, Diaz and Griffey. Griffey up against the wall, jumps up, and he makes
It definitely fucked up his leg.
Since this has been shown millions of times. It's Griffey's signature catch. At the time, it likely saved multiple runs, but Griffey was hurt. He broke his wrist and would miss 73 games. And during those 73 games, the Mariners
How did he not fuck up his leg? It looked like he bent his leg really bad.
were mediocre. Without Griffey, they went under 500 and were 13 games back in August. During this time, the city of Seattle voted no on approving funding for a new stadium, essentially a nail in the coffin for the team staying in Seattle.
Yeah.
But when Griffey returned, things changed. With Griffey, the team this year was amazing, 42-39. When they returned, they got hot, going 27-16, tied the division and entered a one-game playoff where they beat the Angels, got in the playoffs by one game, then upset the Yankees in a legendary 5-game series. The excitement over this late season comeback and playoff run in Seattle was so crazy, the city changed their mind and after the season approved funding for a new stadium, keeping baseball in Seattle for the foreseeable future.
That's amazing.
A direct result of making the playoffs, which they did by one game. You could argue if Griffey doesn't go for this ball, lets it drop, and doesn't miss 73 games, they make the playoffs easily with Griffey in the lineup. You could also argue that if they lose this random game to the Orioles in May, they have one less win, and at the end of the year, they miss the playoffs by one game. Meaning, because of this insane grab to keep the Orioles scoreless, the record was just good enough to get to a one-game playoff, win that one-game playoff, beat the Yankees, and save the entire franchise. Because of this one catch.
Catch can also ruin a team.
That's awesome.
Just ask the Orioles after this 12-year-old became hated and beloved for doing this. According to the rules, a spectator cannot reach onto the playing field to hinder a catch. However, when a fielder reaches over a fence, railing, or rope to catch a
It says according to the rules, but haven't we seen a bunch of videos where people do that? Like they just lean over and try to catch something? Yeah.
ball, he does so at his own risk. Essentially, the rule says, as a fan, you cannot reach over the wall to make a catch. But if a player reaches over the wall into a fan's area, they can pretty much do whatever they want. New York fans are famous for this. This kid catches one over an outfielder and immediately gives him the business, screams at him, shakes his glove at him, rubs it in his face because he just got his team a home run. A few minutes later, it was called interference and he was escorted out of the stadium. This man with the Yankees neck tattoo makes an amazing catch, but he reached over, it's illegal, and he got ejected. In the 2024 World Series, Mookie Betts catches this ball. This fan pries it open while the other...
Again, like, that's another element of, like, American baseball that's so weird to me. Like there's, like, probably, like, a ton of people at the edge who's literally, like, they are ready and willing to, like, fuck with the game by interfering like that. It's not like when it's an home run and, like, the ball goes directly into the stand, right? Like, this is literally the edge of it, where it's still technically, like, legal play for the team. It's so weird that the fans are, like, so... Well, the fans, they're so, like, actively almost trying to, you know, to catch a ball, whether it's, like, gonna be a good thing for your team or the enemy team. They don't really care. I don't know. It's such a weird culture.
Fan grabs his wrist so his friend can strip the ball out of his glove. This was also deemed illegal because the catch was made before it went over the wall. In this video, however, Mike Trout goes up to catch a foul ball, catches it at the same time as this fan. This fan strips it from him, then thinks he did something wrong, tries to give the ball back to Mike Trout, looks extremely guilty, but this was 100% legal. Since the fielder reaches over the fence, the fan also has the right to the ball. That's how the rule works.
So, in some rare instances, a fan could essentially play defense, interfere, and prevent a...
Again, like, whatever I'm saying, like, I'm not part of the, you know, this culture of the, like, American baseball, right? I've only watched videos so far, but it's so weird to me. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine, like, watching a sport where, like, the fan can ruin things like this. You know? Whether it's, like, again, for your team or the other team, but I don't know. Like, the fan being able to, like, change the outcome of something is, I don't know. I don't like that.
fielder from making a catch in order to help the team they're rooting for win. and it's completely legal. And that's what makes this the fourth greatest catch of all time. It's game one of the 1996 ALCS. The Yankees were down 1 in the 8th inning when Derek Jeter hit a fly ball to right field. It looks like it's going to be caught at the wall, but a 12-year-old catches it first.
The Orioles are furious. Their pitcher runs all the way into the outfield just to argue with the umpire. This home run tied the game.
That eventually went into extras. This ended up being the difference as the Orioles ended up losing.
Had this never happened, the Orioles would likely be up 2-0 after game 2. Teams up 2-0 in a 7-game series haven't.
But clearly, like, as you said, it's literally in the rules. Like, I don't know. Like, if they wanted the game to be more fair, they would literally make a rule of, like, you know, the fan cannot do this. Like, they can only take the ball if it actually fell down into the stands, right? Like, I don't know.
80% chance to advance. Instead, the Orioles got eliminated in 5 games. Orioles fans were furious. A classmate of the kid who caught it made a short film called I Hate Jeffrey Meyer. One reporter even accused him of being a criminal.
And they were kind of right. According to the rules, as you can see on the replay, this was not one of the rare instances where fan interference would actually be legal. This was very illegal. But instant replay didn't exist, and this could not be overturned. So in New York, this kid became a hero.
They put him on their shoulders, interviewed him during the game. He was offered to be on baseball cards, travel to Japan, and even appear in movies. When the Yankees made the World Series, he was invited to sit behind home plate. 20 years later, the glove used sold for $22,000.
And for good reason, because a fan making a catch that literally helps their team advance to the next round of the playoffs will likely never happen again. That's why it's the 4th best catch ever, even though it was illegal.
I feel like I'm missing
However,
why this is cool.
there have been better illegal catches. Yadier Molina once caught a ball with his chest protector. That sounds impossible, but he had so much pine tar on it, it actually happened, which is why it's illegal. You also can't catch a ball with your uniform. Many players have done it, but few have gotten away with it. Nick Pivetta did this once off a 106-mile-per-hour line drive that could have killed him. It got stuck in his jersey somehow. He took it out so quick nobody noticed and made an out without ever actually catching the ball. You can't use detached equipment to catch a ball, meaning if you touch a ball with your mask, that's illegal. If you throw your glove at a ball and it makes contact, that's illegal. But if you catch a ball, it gets stuck in your glove, then you take off your entire glove.
Like, it's stuff like this. Like, you know, this sounds pretty cool. Like, even though it would not happen 99% of the time, the idea of, like, managing to catch the ball with your shirt, your helmet or something, like, that sounds pretty cool. So why is this illegal? But, you know, fan, like, kind of like having such a power of, like, interfering with the game is fine. I don't know.
And throw your entire glove to the first
confusing.
baseman to get the out. That is
confusing.
completely legal, and El Duque did it to perfection. Nolan Arenado made an amazing but illegal catch on this play. He grabs it, but his momentum takes him into the stands. That's illegal, but it isn't rare. Going full speed for a ball often leads a player putting themselves and everybody else in the stands at risk, including their food and drinks. People get destroyed. Players come up hurt, but it doesn't stop them from going face first into the bleachers to catch a ball. Todd Frazier once caught a ball without even catching a ball doing this once. Look closely. He dives into the crowd to catch a ball, but it drops and this fan picks up the ball. But Todd Frazier also has a ball. He shows it to the umpire. The umpire calls it a catch, but this wasn't the real ball. While he dove into the crowd, he saw this rubber baseball, picked it up off the ground, showed it to the ump like it was the real baseball, pretended he caught it, then got rid of the evidence while walking back to the dugout. This was definitely an illegal catch. But what happens in the stands stays in the stands. Nolan Arenado knows that better than anybody. He's made a living going into the stands. He catches this one over his shoulder, bounces off a tarp, and makes the throw right on the edge of the wall. He did it earlier this year and almost killed a little girl, but said sorry, and everybody was happy. He put his body on the line and went face first, ate a cup holder on this play, and wasn't even able to make the catch. On this play, he catches it, stumbles, and falls into the seats. He throws it in, but afterwards, the ump rules that both runners on base get to advance. This is due to the catch and carry rule. It's a rule that says a fielder, after catching a ball, cannot step or fall into any out of play area, which means the third best catch of all time was also
I'm still confused. Like again, like this rule seems like, you know, maybe it would make sense if the walls was high enough, but like clearly like the problem is this arena with like the walls being so small, right? I don't know.
technically illegal.
Much room over there as Rizzo gets on the tarp. He makes a catch.
Rizzo steps on the tarp, then steps on concrete with metal spikes, catches it, then jumps on the back of a chair, doesn't fall, and somehow throws it in while balancing on the back of a chair. And the umpires ruled this no catch. The rule book states that in order to make a catch, a fielder must be on or above the playing surface. Rizzo was on the tarp/wall, but after discussion, it was ruled that the tarp and the wall were part of the playing surface, meaning this was a catch. However, since he fell into the stands afterwards, the runner on first got to advance, which takes nothing away from the acrobatics of the catch, because at the end of the day, that's the most important part of a nice catch. Everybody wants to see a guy like Austin Jackson track a ball, time the jump, and flip over the fence for an amazing play. Or Gary Matthews go on a full-out sprint, turn his entire back, then catapult off the wall and rob a home run over his shoulder. Or Jeffrey Chandler, this player from North Greenville State, risks his life to catch this ball, lands on his head, and holds onto it. But when it comes to acrobatics, nothing can top the second best catch of all time.
It's in Japan. Oh wow. Absolute parkour.
Japanese outfielder Masato Akamatsu takes 2 steps on a vertical wall, then somehow stays up there long enough to take this ball back, which should have cleared the fence by at least 10 feet. But no matter how acrobatic a catch is, it cannot be considered the best catch of all time unless it happens when it counts. Catches that not only blow your mind, but also happen at the most important time. Like when Jordan...
Yeah, it's like a lot of this are like visually impressive for the crash or the technique. But I guess in terms of storytelling, it's when it's really important that the catch is even better, right? Yeah.
Zimmerman was 1 out from a no-hitter.
And a ball driven to left center. Souza. He's got it! He's got it! It's a no-hitter!
Mark Souza secured a no-hitter with this catch. But that's not a perfect game. There's only been 24 perfect games in history, and there should have been 1 less. Mark Burley had a perfect game going into the 9th inning, needed just 3 more outs, but Gabe Kapler smoked one.
That ball hit deep into left center field. Wise back. Makes
nice.
the catch. What a play. Wise makes the catch. What a play by Wise. Mercy.
Dwayne Wise robbed it, bobbled it, and somehow held on to it, and Mark Burley will be forever enshrined in history because of this play. In a tie game in the 2018 ALCS, the Astros had the bases loaded. They were down by 2 runs. Alex Bregman smoked one. This, without a doubt, was going to win them the game, but Andrew Benintendi robbed it. It was so electric, the radio broadcaster literally fell out of his chair.
He made the catch. He did. He got it. The Red Sox win.
Not even that was as impactful as this catch, which somehow has been completely forgotten, but was an inch from being the greatest play of all time. It was Game 3 of the World Series. It's the top of the 4th. It's tied at 0, but the Braves are threatening with runners on first and second, and Dave Justice drives one. It looks like it's gonna score at least 2.
Center field, back goes Devon White. It's hit deep. He's still running back at the wall, jumps and picks it off the wall.
David White makes an insane catch. The Blue Jays won this game by 1 run. In this series, they won it in 6 games. Without this catch, the Blue Jays definitely lose this game, and there's a good chance they have no World Series victory. But it gets better. White throws the ball in. The Blue Jays get the double play. They then throw it to third, get Deion Sanders in a pickle, but the umpire rules him safe. He was clearly out. This should have been a triple play in the World Series that saved them the game and perhaps even a championship. Instead, It's almost
It's always
completely
the umpire.
forgotten. Nobody would put this play over Willie Mays' catch, which is what most people considered the greatest catch of all time. It was 1954. It's game 1 of the World Series. It's tied 2-2 in the 8th inning. A ball is hit to center field. It would have been a home run in pretty much every stadium in history. Unfortunately, the Polo Grounds is the only stadium maybe ever to, for basically no reason, be 500 feet to center field. 100 feet deeper than basically any other center field in baseball. When balls would hit the wall in center, players would run forever. No fielder was fast enough to track down a ball 500 feet from home plate, except Willie Mays. In a tie game, he tracks this ball down and catches it 420 feet from home plate. No run score, the Giants keep the game tied and eventually win the game and the World Series. But no, this was not the greatest catch of all time. That was done by Derek Sahlberg of Lower Columbia College, playing the Northwest Athletic Association Community College Championships in front of 643 people. Future Major Leaguer Keone Kela comes to the plate and hits a bomb. Derek Sahlberg goes airborne and catches it. A catch in front of 600 people that night was the #1 play on ESPN's Top 10. It sent him to the ESPYs that year, and it happened in the bottom of the 9th inning with his team up 2 with a runner on base. This home run would have tied the game. Instead, Derek Sahlberg makes what might be the most risky and athletic catch ever, while simultaneously winning his team a playoff game, making this the greatest catch of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, pretty nice one. I feel like in terms of pure visuals, there was some more impressive one early on, but I guess this one, like in terms of saving the game, I understand why it's so big. Okay. As always, there's some stuff I don't fully get with baseball, but it is fun to watch. I do really enjoy those videos.